task, an effective tool for treating procrastination. Gabriele Oettingen, a psychology professor at New York University, invented the mental contrasting method. She is a female psychologist, and her husband, Peter M. Gollwitzer, is also a well-known expert in thinking. Her husband invented another thinking tool that is particularly effective in treating procrastination. This thinking tool is called implementation intention. How does implementation intention work? It involves using a conditional statement if, then, when envisioning what you need to do in the future. Implementation intention is jokingly referred to as a brain hack. Why do most of our plans fail? It's because most plans are just vague concepts, and the brain doesn't know when, where, or what to do. Do you remember the section on scenes in the first chapter? To trigger effective action, we need to create an environment with many behavioral cues, which is the scene. But what if you want to do something in the future? After all, we can't create an environment with many behavioral cues in advance. In this case, we need to embed action cues in the brain. If, then, is the action cue that the brain can understand in the future. Once you implant the if, then, statement in your brain, when the if condition appears, the brain will automatically respond with what you should do. You can try setting if as a very clear and prominent time and place information. For example, if I finish dinner, I will open the book and read a few pages. If I feel sleepy, I will put my Kindle next to the bed instead of my phone. Generally speaking, the more specific the action cues you embed, the more likely they are to trigger action at that time and place. Once you make such a plan, your probability of execution is much higher than with a normal plan. WOOP thinking, overcoming obstacles with a plan. The two spouses who invented the mental contrasting method and implementation intention decided to combine these two thinking tools into one. This is the WOOP thinking. What does WOOP thinking mean? W wish, which means desire. You can first think about the wishes you need to fulfill this week, this month, or this year. O outcome, what is the best result? These two items increase the tension of the goal. O obstacle, imagine the possible obstacles. P plan, the plan. Note that this plan is written using the if, then, sentence structure, such as if I encounter any obstacles, then I will do this. Please translate it. Let me give you an example. I have a friend who has been working in a public institution for 2 years. He feels that his work is not valuable and he is tired every day. He wants to go back to school and study psychology as a graduate student. However, although he has a lot of free time after work, he still doesn't want to read. He asked me for ways to increase his motivation. I asked him, what are the benefits if you are admitted to your ideal graduate school? His eyes lit up and he said, at that time I will have a better platform, more like-minded friends, and I will meet better teachers to learn about psychological counseling. Finally, I can find a job that I like more. Then I asked him, what obstacles might you encounter during the graduate entrance exam? His eyes dimmed a bit and he said, I am taking the exam in a different field, and the difficulty is very high. The school I want to attend is also very competitive. Sometimes I feel bad and lack confidence. I feel like I can't grasp a lot of the content, and even tell myself that I can't pass the exam, so I might as well not prepare at all. So, I asked him, what will you do if you feel bad? He thought for a moment and said, if I feel bad, I can talk to my friends or write in my diary. I asked him again, what if you feel like you can't pass the exam and don't need to study hard? He said, if I think so, I will tell myself that no matter whether I can pass the exam or not, I should strive for my dream once. I said, okay, write it down and make it a plan. He really wrote it down in the format of WOOP. After a while, he came to thank me and said that his efficiency had indeed improved a lot, and his mood had also improved a lot. In today's class, we talked about WOOP thinking, and I hope you can use this tool to better understand the essence of tension. We often say that people need to look up at the stars to feel that life has a direction, and they also need to be down to earth so as not to get lost in their fantasies. WOOP thinking is a tool that allows us to look up at the sky and be down to earth at the same time. Finally, I hope you can practice this new way of thinking yourself. If you don't know if you have the determination, you can think, what will I get if I learn this way of thinking? Maybe you will become more efficient and less procrastinating. Then you need to think, what is the biggest obstacle to practicing this way of thinking? Maybe when you get home, you just want to rest and don't want to open this course again. Then you can remind yourself, if I get home and finish dinner, I will sit at my desk, take a piece of paper, reopen this course, and think about my unfulfilled wishes and possible obstacles according to the course. If you do this, then you are already practicing WOOP thinking. That's all for today's class. In the next class, we will talk about another way of thinking that increases motivation, the two-factor theory of control. See you next class.